Are you planning to buy your first property this year, but you're not approved by the bank? Well, this video might help you. So stay tuned. Hello everyone, welcome on board. Welcome back to Project Courage. It's me again, Eric, at your service. So ngayon, pag-usapan naman po natin yung topic for today na how to buy a property without a bank and especially without interest. Pwede po yan? Posible? Posible. Kasi na-testing ko na po yan. And right now, gusto ko rin po maging more natural. Kaya naghanda na po ako ng notes. As much as possible, ginawa ko po ito step by step. Actually, di naman talaga step by step, but at least meron tayong guidelines to follow. Especially when we are buying our first property or first time house, real estate, apartment, condo, it's applicable to any property that you are buying. It's also applicable in a motorcycle or in a car. Especially when you are purchasing huge amount of money involved, kaya dapat maging wise tayo sa bawat decision natin. Wise and smart decision. And as we all know, properties are the biggest expense that we will purchase in our entire lifetime. So make sure that you are informed, well-informed, and well-researched about this one. So I hope this video will help you to decide whatever fits for you. Okay? So let's start na po tayo. Juice muna tayo. Gusto ko lang po maging more natural, like discussing one-on-one, like we're talking to each other. Ang problema lang ay nasa camera lang ako. I cannot hear your responses. So please make sure comment down below na lang. Okay. So go straight to the point na po tayo. Wag na natin sayangin yung oras natin. How to buy properties without a bank? Possible nga ba talaga yon? What if kung meron tayong work and na-deny tayo about sa ating loan sa bank? Possible po kaya talaga na makapag-purchase pa rin tayo ng property, ng condo, ng house and lot, or ng real estate? Possible po yan. The answer is yes. Very possible. Why? Kasi na-testing ko na po yan. Ito pong kinatatayuan ko ngayon, which I own this condo. I purchased before, 5 years ago. 5 years ago. 2015. So, 7 years ago. 2022 na po ngayon. So, 7 years ago, sorry. Mistakes. It happens all the time. Continuous lang po tayo. Very casual and natural lang tayo. Wala na po tayong edit. Dire-diretso lang po tayo. As you all know, para at least maging comfortable din po ako in front of the camera. Yun. How to buy properties without a bank. And later on, I will discuss without interest payment. Okay? Okay. So the first steps, or the first, I can say a technique that you can buy a property without the help of the bank loan, or without a loan, without a bank, or without anything that you will negotiate with the bank, is to buy in cash or buy in full if you have the money. Paano naman po kung wala akong money, wala akong malaking amount? Like for example, if you're buying a property right now, the minimum amount that you will spend is around 1 million for cash prices, or 2 million, 3 million for condominiums. And vacant lot, it will take, depends on the location also. So ayun, possible po ba yan? Yes, possible, especially if you have cash. If you will pay in full, of course you don't need any banks. It's very simple. But this video is not all about paying in cash. Meron pa pong isang strategy na ginagamit ng mga real estate mogul para po maka-accumulate ng mas maraming property in a shorter period of time. Ito pong technique na to, nabasa ko po to dati sa book ni Mr. Trump, Donald J. Trump, the former president of the United States of America. As you all know, Mr. Donald Trump is a real estate mogul. Hindi pa po siya president, talagang fina-follow ko na po siya kasi I've been a fan of Mr. Trump regarding his real estate deals. Kasi nasa deals po talaga ang money. Okay? So his technique was written in one of his book. And his book is titled Think Like a Billionaire. Okay? Title pa lang, sobrang catchy. So, wala pa po tayong link, hindi po kayo pabibili ng book na yan. But I highly recommend it to read for your learning purposes na rin. Napakarami pong binitawan ni Mr. Trump na talagang golden nugget na hindi mo po makikita sa any other YouTube channel or maybe I don't know, but this kind of information are very important, especially when you're buying property for you or for your family. It will be a very big help for us. So paying cash in full. So it's not about that. But what if alam na pa po natin na napakahirap ng situation ngayon, wala po tayong pambayad ng cash, to be exact. And as we all know, na nagkakaroon po ng crisis everywhere, not only in the Philippines but in the US, in China. Right now in China, their property market are collapsing. You know why? Because they over leverage. They borrow too much money just to develop a property. Okay, so pay in full in cash. This is not the exact steps na sinasabi ko. How can you buy a property without a bank? Okay? So I assume na the second step na po tayo. So I assume na meron na po tayong napupuso ang property. Na-research na po natin yan. So the second step or the second technique na dapat po natin gawin is to find a real estate broker. You know why? Meron na nagsasabi na, ayokong mag-real estate broker, mag-direct na lang ako kasi sayang yung commission. But don't worry guys, don't worry bro and sis. Real estate brokers are being paid in commission by the seller, not by the buyer. So once they close the deal, they are being paid by the seller, depending on the amount of the real estate that they are closing. So, ganun lang po kasimple. Hindi po kayo yung magbabayad, which is yung seller. So, don't worry about the commission of the real estate broker. And please make sure na yung real estate broker po natin na malalapitan is yung legit, talaga pong registered. Kasi napakarami pong gumagala sa paligid na, sorry, juice lang po muna tayo, natutuyuan. May nakalaban. Tutuyan po tayo, especially kapag continuous yung daldal natin, yung kuda natin. So, yun. Once na nakahanap na po tayo, continue. Once na po nakahanap na po tayo ng real estate broker na representative ng property, so, kailangan lang po natin, ang real estate broker po kasi, is not only the middleman, or she's not only the middleman, but she's also one of your partner. You know why you consider a broker is your partner or a sales agent is your partner? Because they will verify every information about the buyer, the seller, about the seller. If it's legal or talagang sa kanila yung property na binebenta nila, marami pong cases na nangyayari na they double sell. So, this property are being sold to someone and they offer it to you. Marami pong cases na ganyan, pero hindi po natin yan i-discuss ngayon. So, step 2, find a real estate broker. Very important po yan kasi yung broker nyo ang magve-verify. Lahat po yan, syempre, magkakandak din po kayo ng due diligence. Background check po niyo lahat yan. And of course, kapag dumaan na po yan kay real estate broker, it means he's done his assignment. Ang assignment po niya is to verify and check all the backgrounds of the seller. If it's legal, if it's kung lahat po yan fully paid in taxes. So yun, napaka-importante po niyang real property taxes. Very important. Next video, yun din po ang i-cover natin. Okay? So for the meantime, yung mga may goals na mag-purchase na property this year, 2022 or next year, it's up to you. Napaka-important po niyan na malaman from the real estate broker which are the best deals around. Kasi sila po yung may connection dun sa mga seller. Well, hindi po tayo makakapag-direct. Sad to say. Makapag-direct man po tayo sa seller, we need a lot of due diligence. Sobrang dami po nating i-verify. Kaya it will save our time once we find a reliable real estate broker. Kaya yan po talagang ina-advise ko. Hindi po yan sa pagtitipid, hindi po yan dahil sa mapapagastos po kayo ng malaki for the broker. No, it's not. You will be safely secured kapag nakapag-transact po kayo sa real estate broker. I'm not a real estate broker or an agent. I'm not recommending someone, but maybe soon. So yan, yung mga friends kong broker. Maybe soon, we will recommend to this channel. So, ayun, yun ang number 2. Find a real estate broker that has the listing ng mga property. Meron po tayo notes ayan lang po yung notes natin. Ganyan lang siya kaiksi. Hindi po yan script na binabasa or kinakabisado. I can discuss this whole day kasi I tried it and eto na po yung resulta. Nakabili na po ako ng property at this kind of what do you call this one? Terms. You call it terms. Okay? Okay, number 3 na po tayo. Research your target properties. Okay? Properties. The reason why I said properties, if you're looking for a property to buy, you're not only looking for one property. Okay? At least marami tayong option. May i-compare po natin yung prices, yung markets, yung location, yung environment. And syempre kung you are planning to buy a condo or house and lot in a subdivision or in a village, meron po yung mga rules and regulation na tinatawag. Meron po yung mga rules and regulation na tinatawag. So, ayun, kung acceptable naman po sa inyo, and go for your goals, go for your target. Push natin yan. Hanap lang tayo ng real estate broker na mag-a-assist sa atin. Okay? So, it's very clear. Step 1, you can buy in cash. Either you pay in full. Number 2, find a real estate broker. Number 3, research your properties. So, you can compare. Ito yung number 4 natin. Go to the number 4. I hope we can finish this less than 10 minutes. Okay? Kasi itong topic na to very complicated, but I will simplify everything just to make sure it will help my viewers to decide and to use this technique that have been used for long periods of time na po. It's not really secret, but if you're dealing with a lot of deals, you will be familiar with this kind of terms. Okay? Number 4, ito na po talaga yung pinaka-technique na sinasabi ko na terms na dapat nyong i-negotiate from the buyer or from the real estate broker if you're willing to negotiate for a seller financing. Okay? Okay, ulitin po natin. Nag-apply po tayo sa bank but we are being denied. Right? Denied from the loan. I don't know what's the reason. We're not sure. But banks have criteria. If you doesn't fall into their criteria, well, you're denied. I'm sorry. But there's a way. Okay? You can negotiate for a seller financing terms. What does it mean, sir? What does it mean? So, on seller financing po, to make it simple, yung previous owner or your seller ang magiging bank. Okay? Siya ang magiging bank. Sa kanya po kayo mismo magbabayad. Directly, instead sa bangko, sa kanya po kayo magbabayad ng monthly payment or ng down payment or ng any payment that you will made for your real estate transaction. Sa kanya po talaga kayo magbabayad, which is very advantageous for both of you. Siyempre, wala na pong bangko and directly to the seller na po mapupunta yung money or yung amount na maibabayad nyo. Especially yung down payment, your monthly payment, sa kanya na po yan direkta. And how you negotiate it really depends on the asking price. If you are writing down, please make sure that you will get this right. Kasi wala pa po tayong editor, wala pa pong nag-a-appear dyan ng mga numbers or mga subtitles. But if you're writing down, I will break it down into 5 steps lang or 5 techniques. So make it simple for everybody to follow. Okay? So number 4, negotiate for a seller financing terms. If you will negotiate for the seller, if the seller, for example, I will give you an example lang. Just in case the seller wants 1 million. Example lang I'm not saying meron pa kayong makikitang 1 million na property. Sa mahal na po ngayon ng property. For example lang, para madali makafollow. Let's say he wanted 1 million asking price. Asking price po niya is 1 million. So, of course, as much as possible, he wanted cash. But right now, the situation right now, if you can pay in cash, well, it's very good. If you can do it, why not? But that's not always the case. But you want it a staggered payment. So you and your broker will construct terms like a release to own. Ito na po yung mga binibenta ng mga condominium and ito na po yung style nila. Yung mga nagbebenta ng condominiums, ng mga house and lot, vacant lot, yan. Lease to own. Ayan na po. Pumapasok siguro naman, meron na po tayong idea sa mga lease to own, mga rent to own. Ito po yung mga nagda-down payment and then mayroon po silang options na mag-move in once they completed the down payment, for example, the 5% or 10%, whatever the number it is. They can move into the property and then continues the monthly payment. So it is applicable to any kind of real estate, especially if you are using it, if you're consuming the real estate. For example, this is your first property, so I assume that you will live on your first house or your first property. If you're not, you want to rent it out, it's fine. That's okay. But ang seller financing po kasi is that you're giving a term for a seller that is hard to refuse. Hard to refuse. What do I mean by that? Usually, ang seller financing po, ito na po ang part 5. Okay? Ang technique number 5 na I used before 7 years ago when I bought this property. Okay? At least you're able to pay 25% down payment. Oh, mahal naman nun. Sorry. Narinig yata yung microphone. Sorry. May mic po tayo. Yan. Oh, ang mahal naman po nun, boss. Sorry. Now, mawala akong boses. Okay. Bakit 25% po ang nire-required ko? Or nire-required ng seller? You know why? Because it's really it's your advantage na rin po kasi if you're paying a large amount of money in the down payment. You know what? Did you get the logic? Because if you pay for bigger down payments, it only means that your monthly payment will be lesser. It's so simple. Gusto nyo bang magbayad ng napakababang down payment, nakapag-move in na po tayo for 6 months or for 12 months, right after makapag-down payment po tayo ng 10,000 cash out. Marami po dyan sa market. 10,000 cash out, 12,000 cash out, 15,000 cash out. So, yun pong terms nila, makomplete mo yung 5% down payment and then 95% sa loan, sa bank loan. Can you imagine the 95% of the loan you will pay for 20 years? Did you get it? 95% ng loan babayaran mo sa banko with interest or longer. As much as possible, ma-reduce po natin yung payment natin and yung duration. Hindi po lahat ng properties I consider properties. Okay? Minsan, yung wrong move po natin, yung wrong financial decisions po natin, yung properties, it turns to a prisoner. It turns to a prison. Nagiging prisoner na po tayo sa loan. Napakahirap po bayaran ng how many years? 10 years lang, I cannot imagine myself paying for 10 years. 10 bloody years for a loan. As much as possible, if you can squeeze it into 5 years or 3 years, it really depends on how much down payment you can. If you don't have the 25% down for your properties, for example only, if you are targeting a 1 million property, you need at least 250,000 down payment. As is. No lesser than 25%. Maybe 20% or 200,000. It really depends on your negotiation, depending on the terms. Kasi meron pong terms na 5 years to pay. It depends. Wala po yung specific clause na minimum 2 years or 3 years. Wala pong ganun. So it really depends on your negotiation between you, the broker, and the seller. Kasi yun ang representative ng broker. The reason why you need a broker, because the broker will act as a middleman and your partner too. Lahat po ng broker, they all work for a commission. Of course, you cannot deny it. Excuse me. Juice po tayo. They're all working for a commission, of course. That's how it works. Don't deny them. Okay? But they are your partners. They are your partners. They are the one who will verify the property, who will do the due diligence in advance. Kaya dapat po talaga meron tayong real estate broker. So if you cannot afford the 25%, it only means you're not yet ready. Okay? Marami po akong nawi-witness na fina-fire sale nila yung property nila after 2 years or sometimes months pa lang, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months after they pay the down payment kasi they are being choked. Yung financial status po natin right now is not forever. Okay, it goes up and down, just like the market. Sometimes we have a terrific job, terrific salary, terrific income, high-paying job incomes. We're not always on top. That's the reality. We might experience the downside, so at least we can minimize the risk. Yun lang ang napakahirap kapag bumili ka ng property through bank is that you cannot simply just walk out of the deal. Okay? Napakahirap po talaga mag-walk out ng deal. And if you walk out the deal, there's a lot of charges that you will shoulder. Kasi isa po yan sa mga pinirmahan nyo sa bank. What's the advantage of a seller financing is that you can both agree on the terms. Sa bank, you cannot agree on the terms. You cannot negotiate your terms in the bank. Kasi meron silang specific na criteria na naka-ready. So, hindi po natin yung magagawa makipagtawaran sa bank. Yun ang advantage ng seller financing. And sana po ma-maximize nyo yung ganitong terms. Yung mga ganitong deal, sorry. Tapos ng juice. And sana po ma-maximize lang po natin yung mga ganitong klaseng deals and to take advantage of it. And make sure you find a motivated seller. What I mean by this one is that a seller that is fully paid the properties. It's not about the pasalo or what do you call that one? Assume balance. It's not. I'm not talking about that one. The motivated seller are the ones who really own the property na fully paid. Okay? No initial loans, no pending loans sa bank. They own the property. Ito po, napakahirap hanaping property. Yun po yung talagang best deals na makikita nyo. Kaya, my advice, my personal advice is that do not rush buying properties. Do not buy if you're not ready. If you're not yet fully researched about the vicinity, the market, the prices. It's not about the prices, but it really lies on the value of the property. Doon po tayo magre-rely. Kasi magkakaroon pa po tayo ng mga series of vlogs na kasunod. The importance of finding the sure buyer first. Yun po ang pinaka-importante bago tayo magsimula ng kahit anong business, finding the sure buyer first. But right now, finding the motivated seller first. Kasi yung motivated seller, they want to dispose their properties as fast as they can. So yun po ang talagang golden nugget natin ngayon for today is to find a motivated seller and negotiate seller financing terms. Yun po. Kapag na-negotiate po natin yan, at least we can rest on our laurels na. Makakapag-relax na po tayo. Dahil, hindi ko naman sinasabi na safe, very safe na po ang ating investment. But, at least we negotiate our own terms. Both parties, the seller and you, the buyer, na agreed na po natin sa duration ng yung agreement, sa terms. And napaka-simple lang po yan. 20% down, the 75% you need to pay directly to the seller, to the owner, previous owner. And ito pa isa, yung take note ko. Pwede nyo rin pong i-negotiate without interest. Yeah, you heard it right. Tama po yung narinig nyo. Zero interest if you're going to negotiate with the seller. Paano mo man-negotiate yung zero interest? Siyempre, mayroong mga seller na hindi naman sila greedy but they're in rush. Okay? They're in rush. Most of the seller magre-require sila na cash, of course. You cannot buy a property without a cash, without any money. What do you call that one? You need down payment, okay? You need down payment if you're buying a property. But make sure that you are paying enough down payment for them to accept your terms. Kasi if you're bargaining them, okay, pwede bang 5% or 10%, they will not accept your terms. Siyempre, if you are in different situation, put yourself in their shoes. Would you accept someone that is bargaining and your property's value? Of course not. Siyempre, yung price mo, for example, 1 million or 10 million, you won't agree into a bargain, into a bargain price kasi alam mo valuable yung property mo. So, for me, the best way to negotiate this deal is to offer them a 25% down payment. It's very acceptable. I'm sure that any motivated seller will accept your deal, will accept your offer. Clear na po ba? Ganun lang po kasimple. So, take down notes po. na-breakdown na po natin sa 5 steps or 5 techniques yung ating topic for today. So number 1, if you want to buy a properties without a bank, you can pay in cash or pay in full. Number 2 steps, you don't need to pay in cash, but you need to find a broker. This is the best lesson that I learned from my experience. It's not always what you know, but it's who you know. Kaya find a reliable broker. Find them, or a real estate agent, it doesn't matter. As long as they're reliable, they're legit, they're registered, they are being employed in a company. So yung real estate company, it doesn't matter. Go ahead, ask them, okay? They are the ones who will save your, from trouble. I will not continue because this one is for kids too. Okay, research your target properties and negotiate. Number 3. Number 4, negotiate for a seller financing terms or the rent to own. Okay, pay at least 25% down payment. I know this is very hard for everybody. It's not for everybody talaga. Kasi yung mga nakikita natin dyan sa labas, yung mga nagpo-promo, 5% down, 5% down payment, 12,000 monthly. The lower your payment, the higher your interest is. I will repeat. Okay? Again, the lower you pay monthly, the higher the interest you're paying with the bank. Real talk. Yan po talaga ang hindi sinasabi sa inyo ng mga agent. Okay, that's why they are pushing you to avail the loan kasi meron din silang mga commission. But it doesn't matter. The commission you pay for the real estate broker or the agent are very valuable for them kasi it takes hard work talaga to close a deal. It's a hard work. They deserve it. Give it to them. But you're not the one who will pay them. It's the seller. Okay? So, yun lang po. If you like this video, hit the like button naman dyan, oh. Show some love. Positivity lang po tayo. Okay? So, ayun lang. Next video, marami po tayong i-discuss. Hindi po tayo nawawalan ng content ngayon. But, siguro magiging limited lang. Kasi hindi nahihirapan talaga ako mag-edit. It's been very challenging for me to edit. Especially sa smartphone lang po ako nag-edit ng video. Ayun lang. Hit the like button. And please join me on my journey. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. I will try my best to upload every day a new video. Kung kaya ni Nas Daily at kaya nung iba doon, nila Sniper Wolf, kaya ni si Mr. Beast hindi everyday. Everyday po tayo mag-upload ng video hanggang ma-hit po natin yung 1,000 subscriber and 4,000 watch hours na YouTube. Ma-monetize na. And I promise that once we get monetized, I'll be sharing all the blessings with you guys. I know exactly who are the followers, who are my viewers, who are my friends who are being subscribed to me. I know exactly who you are. So thank you so much, guys. Before I end this one, I would like to say thank you for all my Tondo friends who always support me. Thank you, I love you. Sorry, wag na kayong magtampo. Hindi ko kayo nabanggit nung last time. Magulo yung isip ko. Dami ko tumatakbong ideas. So, bigla na lang sabi ko, nakat ko na pala yung video. So, yung mga Tondo friends ko dyan, that I started as sorry, dumigay ito po ako, nag-burp na. When I started my journey, they've been there. I love where I came from. Okay? Ngayon lang po, nagiging busy. Ang dami po natin iniisip. This kind of, what do you call this? Alam niyo, yung mga nangyayari sa atin. May COVID ba? So, yan. Yun lang po sa atin. Thank you so much. Hope to see you in my next video. Enjoy the rest of the day. See you around. God bless.